All right, library interns, I am going to do a quick video over Destiny and some of the things you'll be using it for. Depending on what part of the training you're in, you may have already learned some of this, but it's always good to review. And please refer back to this video with any questions or problems you're having in the future. If it still doesn't help out, then feel free to come back and just ask me and let me know. You can also send me a message on my Big Campus. Okay, so starting off, I am currently logged in as a student. If you log in as yourself, I have now switched your status to intern, which gives you the access that you need to log in and check out books and do some of the jobs I have for you. There are still some slight restrictions on there for things that you need a little extra training to be able to do, but for now, this should give you everything you need. At the very beginning, you were probably using the CircDesk login. That one still works, but it's way more restricted and doesn't let you just look up students by names, for example. We're going to come up here and hit exit to get out of Destiny Quest. It looks like we're starting off in the View All mode. View All is kind of a turquoisey color. Library View, remember, is green. That is for library books and for anyone that needs headphones. And then textbook view is blue, and that is for iPads and for textbooks. Okay, quick overview. In textbook view, you have catalog, just like in library view. Textbook search is, for example, if Mrs. Wayne Lakowski comes in, and our assistant principal in charge of textbooks, and needs to know if we have any more business math books. I can search for business math, find the correct book, and see that we have 0 of 38 on our shelf. If I click that, it takes me to more information. I see that 9 are checked out, 28 are lost, 1's out for repair. Just a quick tidbit, those 28 are actually not lost. Those are checked out to students who are continuing on in second semester and have yet to renew their books. Small glitch in the system I forgot to fix over the summer break, where anybody's books that were overdue by 30 days or more got moved to the lost. So yeah, I complicate things and create more problems for myself sometimes, so we will be fixing that and hopefully correcting it so that mistake will not happen again in the future. An additional down at the bottom, I can tell where other schools, what books that they may have on their shelves. Not a lot. Business math is a pretty busy class and that, but at least I can have some information to share and figure out what's going on. Transfer textbooks is something else you'll do. Let's say Mrs. Wonderland calls over and she needs about 5 world history books sent to her. I would, as your librarian, would check and make sure we have enough and have you do the transfer. You'd come to transfer, upload, choose the school it is going to, in this case Woodland, and then all you'd have to do is click here and scan the barcodes. Do keep an eye on the screen to make sure that they are actually scanning and showing up on your list. As long as they show up on your list, they are good to go. And then you would hit transfer, and that's all you need to do. Circulation is our next tab. You guys have used this already quite a bit for checking out books. Circulation, you can type in a person's name. So we're going to type in my name. And you can see that there are 2 of me for some reason. I'd pick the correct one, click on it, and go in there. As long as my name appears right underneath the check-in box, it's good to go. You might have noticed here a second ago that there was that gap. It's important to make sure that when you're checking out that you have the correct person's name right underneath the box. There's nothing in between it. The other way is to type in a student's ID number. I'm going to type in my code here. And again, it brings up the correct patron. I can scan the books, do what I need to do to get checked out books to myself in this case. And when I'm done, I should make it a habit to always click this reset. The reason being is sometimes books accidentally get checked out to the wrong person because we forget to have them type their ID number, or maybe they typed the number and forgot to hit enter. So make it a habit. Start forcing yourself to come down and hit the reset button after each time you check in or out a book, or check out a book. Okay, then you have check-in. Pretty easy. Scan the book. You should see it pop up with the student's name and information. When you do this, it'll say, it might have a message pop up to say, this book was previously marked as lost. It's just letting you know that the book is found. That is all. It may also say that this book was previously checked out to a student with an inactive status. That means that a student has withdrawn and I marked them so in the system, but maybe they still had textbooks out there, maybe in a friend's locker or something, and it just came back. Again, it's just letting us know what's going on. A third message that comes up is already available. Means that somehow that book was not checked out under somebody's name. And the final message that I could think of off the top of my head would be that this book needs to be transferred from another school. So, for example, this past week, school sent me 2 business math books. It say this book needs to be transferred from Woodland High School. Do you accept it? Or something like that. I would say yes, and then it would become officially in my system. When you're checking in books, especially if the student is standing right there, which I highly recommend, especially for textbooks and English novels, as you're scanning it, you need to say the person's name. I'm not going to scan one right now because this video can be viewed by others and I don't want personal information on here. But again, you need to be able to look on there, find the student name, and say the name to confirm that they've turned in their own book. If they've turned in somebody else's book, they need to be aware that that was not their book. You could click on their ID number when that happens and look at their list to see if they still have a book out or not. This is a big deal as many students come and say, but I turned the book and I know I turned it in. Well, textbooks get mixed up. Kids don't always write their names in the front, or they sometimes even mix it up the very first day they get it. And so they need to know that their record is clear. Renew is something that we do a lot on the textbook side for second semester. When they check out a book, even if it is for a whole year class, it's only checked out for a semester at a time. Renew is kind of like our inventory. It's also our chance to straighten out all of those mixed up books. When you do that, you need to click renew and just scan the book. It'll renew, say their name, again, confirm the name so that they know they have it their own book. If it does pop up with somebody else's, we need to correct that. A couple ways to do that would be to have them go to checkout and type their number in. See if they already have that book out. If they do not, go ahead and check it out under their name. If they're like, but that's my locker mate's, okay, that's fine. We'll hold on to the book on our cart. Their locker mate can then come by and grab it from us when we come by to do renewals in their class or stop by the library. If it's not their book and they say, oh, my book's probably in my locker then, or oh yeah, I think I know where it's at. Again, we take the book, check it in, and have them find their own book. Let them know that if they still can't find their own book, they can stop by the library to get one. And the last option would be for second semester. That's my book. I know it's my book. They don't believe the system saying that it's somebody else's book. If they really need that book, I'm not going to keep a book from them for second semester, but I do let them know that they are still financially responsible for the first book under their name. Chances are, as we do renewals, it'll probably pop up under somebody else, but that they need to know they're still responsible for it. If they accept that, we can then check out the second book under their name. They just need to understand that a bill could show up at their door if that book has not shown up by the end of the year. Moving on, we don't really use fines. The only time you might click this is if a student says, I need to know what I owe, but again in textbooks, doesn't really come up for you guys. Copy status we use quite a bit. Teacher or student brings a book in, needs to know who it belongs to. You just scan it. It'll give you the list of who the student that owns the book. Sorry, is borrowing the book actually. Patron status, same thing. I come in, I want to know if I have any overdue books or what's going on. You look them up and you can see the list. And that's actually interesting because I've never borrowed a book called Hamlet. So that's good to check your account once in a while so you can look on there and say, okay, what's up with this book and where is it? I'm going to have to contact the other librarian to see what's going on. But this is a good place to come and see, okay, did I have that health book checked out? Nope, there's no textbooks. Okay, I can check out a new one. A lot of times kids who lose their books, it just shows up because somebody else found it on the floor in the classroom or maybe in the locker and they just bring it to us. That's pretty much all with circulation. At this point, we're not going to go into the reports back office. The only thing you would do here is if you're running an inventory for me. You go to back office. Think of it this way. You're standing in the back of the library in the back room, so the back office. You're going to inventory. I would actually be the one to start a new inventory for you. So when you came in, you could just click on the name and be ready to go to start scanning. The other option is to go to View Lost, which we have quite a bit right now, between an inventory that we did and then a glitch in the system that marked our overdues as lost. But I could come in here and see, for example, several accounting books are marked as lost right now. Because we haven't done an inventory, we haven't been to Mr. Mommer's class to do the renewals yet for accounting, I'm betting that those books will probably show up in there. However, advanced accounting, those books are not checked out. So that would be assigned to me as an intern that I should take the laptop cart back into the textbook room and go ahead and do a check-in scan of all those books. If I do a check-in scan and all, most of them will say this copy is already available, but it's quite possible that these copies right here will show up and that'll take it off of my lost list. Same thing for African American history. If there's any on the shelf, you can either do a visual search. There's only literally not very many books, 20 books or so for this class. I could look at the shelf to see if, 513, 577 is there, or I could do a quick scan in. And then my info would be whoever is currently checked in. So for example, the Miss Mayer is checked in, and she could do a quick status check on what she has checked out and if anything's overdue. Okay, that pretty much covers textbook view and everything you need to know. Again, catalog if you're going to transfer or you're going to search for a textbook to see how many we have. Circulation, we do quite a bit, checking out, checking in, renewing, your copy status, patron status. Remember to make it a habit every time you check out a book to hit reset when you're done, so that way you start from scratch. And then back office for inventory. Okay, our next video will cover the library news.